I was with Alice again by the boundary wall, as always, watching the distant city shimmering in the sea breeze, wondering which part of the city the refugee camp was in. Alice was blowing dandelion clock against the breeze. Want to blow one? She said. But I was in a world of my own, dreaming, dazing, gazing at the city. She picked a dandelion and offered it to me. Have a blow, she said. I shook my head. My mind was still in the sparkling city on the horizon. To get my attention, she handed me a piece of ruby-colored glass which she had found discarded in the dry soil there. I took it and looked through it. Instantly the world was transformed into blood red. The whole span of the sea, the foams of the wave, the city itself were all deep red, purple and blue. The city looked mesmeric. I'm going to go back there, I said to her. What, to the city? I nodded, yes. Still in deep contemplation. Are you going to run away? Almost jokingly, she said. I nodded, yes, again. You never, she dismissed me again. They'll kill you, silly. But what would they kill me for? I don't know. They just kill all children who have no home to go to. But I'm not a child, I'm almost 7 now. Still, they'll kill you, and I'll die if you die. Don't say these things, I told her. But it's true, she said. I don't want to live here alone without you, ever. Well, Alice too was enlisted into the children's choir. So was my friend Hagopik. He too had a lovely singing voice, and he was a likable and quite shy boy. My friend he was. As I mentioned before, I found consolation in singing. I was as if lifted to a higher plane, to the world of dreamers. When we sang in the chapel, not only did I imagine we were floating off the ground, propelled by the sound of the harmonium that Maria Jacobson played, but I felt we had burst through the ceiling and singing above the roof of the chapel so that the city of Beirut beyond the Great Bay could hear us. That was the degree of my joy singing in the children's choir at the chapel. I mean, again, conducting Beethoven's Ninth Symphony with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, with the Royal Choral Society as well, of some 200 singing voices who are so well trained in their art. Every note is so clearly heard, their breathtaking voices ascending to the ceiling of the Royal Albert Hall, resonating, swirling in the acoustic there. That glorious choral work came nowhere near to the purity of our children's choir at the orphanage. If we had sung there as children at the Royal Albert Hall, I'm sure the ceiling would have opened up like the petals of a giant flower, and our voices would have risen like a plume of angels in a column of mist, right out to eternity. But sadly, that's my own imagination only, and I'm not biased at all. Choir simply meant luxury for us. It meant invitations to children to Christian homes in the villages as Christians. And at Christmas, we used to go out on a tour of the villages to sing carols. I knew that some of the Arab family used to say, poor kids, about us peering out from behind their window curtains. Sacrilege, they would say, making the poor kids walk like that in the middle of the night. Indeed, we must have looked like a line of dwarfs going on some dark business through the village under cover of sunset, holding lanterns in front of our little faces and singing, Surp kísér, lul kísér, Zovutamak. Imagine that. Hagob's face was a picture to behold. He always sang looking up towards the heaven. He was the only boy with whom I had shared my secret ambition with, that one day I was going to run away to the city. Would you take me with you? He once asked me. But he was a fragile boy, quite uncertain of himself. We were playing together once with some pebbles on the stony ground. Alice was gathering daisies by the chapel. I said, I don't know. Will you really run away? He asked me. Maybe, I said, I'm not really sure. Aren't you scared? He said. Scared of what? I was like, brave. Kachin Vartan I am. Then he said, you know, one of the older boys ran away to the sea, but by the sea. He went to the city, but by the sea on an inflated tire. But they think he was drowned. He couldn't swim, you know, but I can. You're not thinking to do something like that, are you? I looked at him. What, to run away by the sea? He asked. Yeah, you're not going to do something silly like that, are you? Well, I might. You don't know. You don't. If you don't take me with you. He made me feel really, really guilty. Look, I want to go alone, and if I run away, I just want to be alone, I said to him. About 2 weeks later, Hagopik gone missing. Everybody went looking for him. In the ruins, in the fields by the orphanage, in the rocks on the beach, everywhere. Even the local police from the village searched for him. But after 3 days, he was found, drowned, but not in the sea. He was drowned in the orphanage's raw sewage. You see, we had no running sewers there, so the lavatories were built on a flimsy platform where we sat and did our business. And in a deep well under the platform, the waste was accumulated. And one day, as poor Hagopik went to the lavatory, the platform underneath him gave way and he fell in the deep sewers and drowned there, and remained there dead like that for 3 whole days until he was found, poor boy. It broke my heart. It really broke my heart to die like that. He was my sweet boy and my best friend. And this is the end of this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe and watch the next episode. And if you like, you can also donate to our registered charity, children's charity, on the link below to help our work with orphans and street children. Thank you.